One of Madden's big issues is that he has realized that he is tall enough to get pretty much whatever he wants off the counters. So right now we're practicing giving him a better response to food being left on the table. You'll notice I'm not actually asking for a leave it here. I am teaching him leave it, but in situations like this, I don't want to have to be present and telling him leave it. I want him just to understand that food automatically on the table is off limits. He just should assume, without being told anything, that you're not supposed to get food on the table. He has no idea that he is not supposed to get food off the table. He sees it there and he thinks, well, this is my kibble, I should just go for it. I reach it. So I have him on a leash to prevent him from rewarding himself. And I am just going to try very hard to not give him enough length on the leash to actually eat any of the kibble. I want him making a good decision on his own, so before I reward him, I'm going to loosen up on the leash a little bit to make sure that he's actually making a good decision and not just being restrained from what he wants. However, if I need to, as you can see, I'm going to hold him back and prevent him from learning that it's very rewarding to reach out on the table and grab the food from there. I don't need him to look at me before I reward, but I do want him looking away from the food. So when I'm rewarding here is when he sees the food, you got a freebie there, when he sees the food and he turns away, that's when I'm going to tell him good and I'm going to reward. I want him to acknowledge it, I want him to know it's there, and I want him deciding to not go for it. Good. And he's going to get the food from my hands instead. He figures it out pretty quick with just the kibble. However, I noticed that there's a few spots, like on one of the corners where he was able to grab a piece, that he really wants to go for each time because he knows he had a chance to get it before. So I'm going to test him on that corner. I'm going to move food really close to the edge of that corner to make sure that we can walk past it a few times and have him be successful. He's actually a really smart dog. He's tended to pick stuff up pretty quickly.
Nope.
But you can see he either got a piece there or he almost got a piece. That corner is a really tight corner that's pretty easy for him to grab onto, so he's trying to take advantage of it. So I really want to make sure that he can handle that corner. The rest he's doing just fine with. I don't need him avoiding it, I just want him not going for it. So if he walks past it and he just says whatever, I'll reward him for that. You can see I move it towards the edge because I know he's gotten a piece here and there.
Nope.
I was quick on him that time. I will tell him no and give him a little pop if he lunges forward. He's starting to figure out this game, and so now I can hold him accountable for trying to go for it. I'm like, buddy, you know that if you don't look at it, you get food, so now I'm going to show you that if you do go for it, you're going to get told no, and you might get a little pop on the leash.
Good boy, good. Nope.
I don't want to have to rely on constantly telling him no. I want him doing this and making good decisions. So I prefer restraining him where he can't reach. But if he does make a go for it, I will tell him no and let him know that's not the correct decision and that he will have some kind of consequence if he tries to go for the food on the table.
Good boy.
You can see I am actually giving him the food on the table as a reward, which is fine. I just don't want to tell him good and then his reward is seated off the table.
Good.
I'm always going to take it off the table and give it to him. So he should always anticipate the food coming from my hand and not from coming off the table.
No.
The table's always going to be off limits for him, regardless of what I say. Even though I release him to do what he wants, the table's still going to be off limits. Again, that's why I'm not using leave it. That's why it's just an implied leave it. It's on the table, you just don't touch it.
Good. Good. Good.
We'll move on and do this same exercise with higher value food, like stuff on plates or chicken or human food. But right now it's just a kibble, so it's pretty boring. It's just a way to introduce him to the concept of leaving stuff alone on the table.
Good boy.
We'll also have to make sure to practice this on other tables, so he doesn't just generalize it to meaning only this table. I want him to understand that any surface, the couch, the kitchen table, the counter in the kitchen, is just off limits to him.
No. Good. Nope.
I'm showing him that even if I put the food right down in front of him, it still doesn't mean it's his. It's only if I pick it up and I hand it to him.
Good boy. Good job.